Hey everyone, how's it going? Azren here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's A2/B1 level French lesson. If it's your first time watching any of these videos, I am currently in the middle of a video series on my YouTube and podcast to help French learners reach a B2 level. These video lessons are for people who are learning French and already have at least an A2 level, and they want to reach a B2 level. In other words, you already know some of the basics of French, but you want to reach like a really strong level. You want to become like upper intermediate. Now, bleh, oh my God, I'm getting tongue tied. Where we are right now in the series, um, we are pretty early on. And so one of the focuses for the time being is looking at some really high frequency French vocabulary. Down the line, we're going to look at some grammar. We're going to do some listening practice. We're going to do a lot of different things. But for just the time being, we're doing a lot of vocabulary drills and a lot of vocabulary practice. Now, to the vocabulary words rather, we're going to look at today is something that if you'd asked me, I wouldn't have actually covered. At this level, I would have thought, nah, we don't need to worry about it. But I was actually proven wrong. So I've done a lot of my own research on what quantity and what kinds of words people need to know at different levels of fluency. That's something I've done a lot of work on in my line of work. And I also got a book in French that really walks you through a lot of the most frequently used words in French. So it has about 5,000 words in the book, and it walks you through in order from the most frequently used all the way down words that are used in French. And I was very, very surprised to see that the word that we're going to look at today is actually relatively high up on the frequency of use side of things. So I thought, wow, you know what? It's actually used so frequently. Maybe we should be teaching it. Again, if I hadn't read this book, if I hadn't done the research that I've done, a lot of the work that I did on, vocabulary sizes and things like that, this is not something I actually would have taught, but here we are. A lot of the research that I've done has proven me wrong. So the word we're going to look at is the word tant. Let me share my screen here. Here we go. Tant. Now, tant is it's a little bit of a complicated word in French. It means so much or so many. So we can just literally read this description here. At the A2 level, tant is a fantastic word to express quantity or intensity in a natural conversational way. It translates to so much or so many and is used in two main patterns, depending on whether you're talking about an action, aka a verb, or a thing, aka a noun. So when we look at things like verbs, we can just look at a couple things here. So the rule is verb plus tant. So a very simple example, tu travailles tant. Tu travailles tant. You work so much. Oh my God, you work so much. You shouldn't do that. Or j'aime tant ce pays. I really love this country. I really like this country so, so, so much. The other way that we can use tant is if we combine with a noun. So we can say, for example, tant de monde. Il y a tant de monde ici. There are so many people here. By the way, a tangent. Monde means world, but you can use monde to say people. There are so many people here. Il y a tant de monde ici. There are so many people here. Il y a beaucoup de monde ici. There are a lot of people here, right? Or j'ai tant de choses à faire. I have so many things to do. I have so many things to do. Now, when we look at tant or tant de, both of them, a really easy way to grasp it. I'll tell you a story. When I first was coming across these words, it was a bit difficult for me to really let these words sink in. It just wasn't, for some reason, for me, when I first learned these words, it wasn't fully absorbing into my brain. And what really helped it to click was looking at the words tant or tant de and replacing it in a way with beaucoup, beaucoup or beaucoup de. Very frequently, the words, let me stop my screen share. Very frequently, the word tant can be replaced by beaucoup. So if we look at, for example, the sentence I read you, I told you, tu travailles tant, you work so much. I could just say tu travailles beaucoup, you work a lot. It's pretty much the same thing. Oh, tu travailles beaucoup, hein? You just work a lot. You work so much, right? Tu travailles tant. It's kind of this, it's very, very similar in meaning. Sometimes with the word tant, if we share my screen again, Sometimes with the word tant, we could even replace it. Let's get a marker out. We could even replace tant. So we already said beaucoup. Let's just use shorthand. C BCP. There we go. Beaucoup. This is a shorthand for beaucoup. So you could say beaucoup. You could also do trop sometimes. In some contexts, trop, like that, trop, can also do the trick. So for example, imagine the energy behind tu travailles tant. You work so much. The energy behind you work so much is probably, potentially, someone complaining. Like, oh my God, you work too much. Ugh. Tu travailles trop, hein? Like, oh, you just work. Ugh. You really, really, really work a lot. Like, you work too much. So often for tant, we can replace with beaucoup or trop, and we get very, very, very similar meanings. I'm going to read you a couple of sentences. You can practice your listening. So open up your ears and get ready. OK, numéro 1. Waouh, j'ai tant dormi ce week-end. J'ai tant dormi ce week-end. Let's do. Pourquoi tu parles tant aujourd'hui? Pourquoi tu parles tant aujourd'hui? Let's do numéro 3. Waouh, il y a tant de voitures aujourd'hui. Il y a tant de voitures aujourd'hui. Et numéro 4. Let's do this one. Pourquoi tu achètes tant de vêtements? Pourquoi tu achètes tant de vêtements? Let me share my screen. Let's look at these. Let's look at these here. So there's obviously way more sentences here than I read you. So feel free to pause and read through these just to kind of grasp the concept. But we did. Which one did I do? J'ai tant dormi. I think I said right. J'ai tant dormi. And again, you could almost picture it being replaced with beaucoup, and it pretty much is similar, right? Oh, j'ai dormi beaucoup ce weekend. J'ai beaucoup dormi ce weekend, right? We also had, where did it go? We did this one here. Pourquoi tu parles tant aujourd'hui? Why are you talking so much today? Or il y a tant de voitures. I just did the first part there. Il y a tant de voitures. There's so many roads, so many cars, excuse me. Pourquoi tu achètes tant de vêtements? Why are you buying so many clothes? Why are you buying so many? So again, as a recap, tant or tant de is often pretty much means like so much or so many. It's something that me initially I would have thought let's not teach it, but it is actually very frequently used based on the one book that I read, so it's worth covering. Tant or tant de pretty much could be replaced with beaucoup or trop, and often you get very, very similar meanings. Okie dokie. So that wraps up today's lesson. Tomorrow we're going to do some more vocabulary, as that is the phase that we are currently in on our journey to a B2 level. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Salut, bye.